And I regret to inform everybody that it has been determined that Joe Burrow will be out for the rest of the season. Wrist ligament.
Right now, the AFC playoff picture.
That division just lost 2 quarterbacks for the season.
So here we go for our team.
Cincinnati Bengals lose to the Baltimore Ravens 34-20 in Thursday Night Football. And the news just broke that Joe Burrow is done for the rest of the year. Now, the thing is this. Miles, the voice you're listening to right now, I just did a video saying everything I needed to say about the Bengals. And literally 5 minutes ago, it broke. The news broke that we lost our star franchise quarterback for the rest of the 20 season. And so what you guys are getting right now is raw motion, raw audio from a Bengals faithful. This sucks. This sucks so much. You know, I'm trying to cope right now. So what I do when I try to cope is I immediately say, what are the good things that come out of this? Okay, better draft pick. Okay, maybe we get a star receiver if T leaves. Oh, maybe we can get a good tackle, good guard. Who knows? Maybe we can get a play at a nice tight end. I don't know. All these things just start rumbling through my head, and I'm just like, damn, we lost Joe Burrow for the rest of the year. It's done. You know, we can cope ourselves into a calf injury, and him hobbling away in week 3, hobbling away in week 4. He finally gets things back in week 5. Things look good. We were able to cope because he was out there. It's done. The season's a wash. It's that same feeling week 10 against the Commanders when we lost him for the rest of the season, his rookie season. It's the same. It's not the same feeling because it's not his knee, it's his thumb, it's his wrist, it's a ligament. It's some ligament in his hand that was torn. And so, like I said, this is all happening in real time right now. I'm not even looking at my notes. It's just pure emotion of anger. And this is bad for football. And there is I'm moving my Bible right now. But there is some punk ass Ravens fans chanting F Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow. Definitely never liked the Ravens. Never liked the Ravens. Never liked the Ravens. I'm just going to do my best to make sure that, like, I am not going to turn into them. And this is what we need to do as a Bengals organization. Do not turn into them. They're wrong. They're disgusting. They're grotesque. Let's make sure we stay in our lane, and let's not wish injury upon Lamar. Let's not wish injury upon any of their players. Let's not do it. I mean, they lost Mark Andrews for the rest of the year. So I just think it's unfortunate. Jake Browning, you're up. I don't want any Super Bowl heroics. I want to keep our 5 wins for the rest of the season. I do not want any more wins. I want to lose out. That just means better draft picks. This is how I'm coping in real time. A better draft pick. And I think that just needs to be our DNA. I know Coach Taylor's not like that. I know our defense isn't like that. I know Lou Anarumo's not like that. And it sucks even more because they're not going to fold. Even though a lot of everything they say, it's about 9. It's about Joe. We got 9. We got 9. I don't know how this defense is going to play. I don't know how the defense is going to play without 9. I don't know how the defense is going to play when their whole motivation is, hey, we get the ball back to Joe Burrow, we're good. You've seen the interviews. That's all they think. That's their motivation. Day in, day out, their motivation is get the ball back to Joe. And so now it's get the ball back to Jake. Not saying it can't turn into anything great. Hey, he had a great game. He showed great poise. He got a touchdown. He didn't look rattled. He's been in moments like that before. I think he carried himself okay in a hostile environment. I think he's going to win a few games. He's going to win a few games. It's going to happen. Hey, you guys remember Ryan Finley used to win games for us. So I'm sure Jake Browning is going to be able to win a few games. I just don't want him to. And I hope Chase, one thing Chase has done, right? And if you're a real follower of the Bengals, I would hope to see that you would like agree. Chase is a guy, he's very, very an unselfish player. He's very much a team guy. And I feel as if he's going to be the leader, even over Tyler. I think he's going to be the leader saying, hey, let's get Jake involved. They all have personal goals to make, even with T. And I think if things are positive, if we're going to take this positive, we're not going to cope like Miles is coping right now. That's how I'm coping. I'm saying draft picks, I want to lose out. I want to get a better player on our team. But if y'all are better than me, which I think you are, I think you're already a better Bengals fan than I am. If you're saying, hey, we still want to win. We still want to win. I get it. I'm there with you. This is how I got to cope. This is how I'm just saving myself. And so if Jake can get it done, and Jamar, T, Tyler, even Hudson, I like him a lot, Joe Mixon, if they say, okay, the burden's on us now. It's us. We didn't do enough for Joe. Joe got hurt too many times. And I'm not going to lose it on this offensive line because I think they are so much greater than what we have had in the past. Like, they're so good comparatively, guys. Like, y'all know, like, this is like comparatively to what we've had in years past. This is the greatest offensive line in history, right? And it just sucks because them not being good enough and the sacks and the hits over time catching up. And, you know, let's just think about this in a realm of, once again, this is all free thought. This is me being right or wrong. That calf injury in the beginning of the season, him still playing, that means at some point in time, he had to have been whipping that wrist a little bit too much torque. If he's not generating that power from his legs and it's going into his arm over time a lot. And Joe Burrow, he's a psycho. And at some point in time, it hasn't come out yet. He's a psychopath, right? At some point, he's gonna say, hey, like, I'm autistic and I love football so much. I love it. It's like, you know, he was throwing the ball like 1 billion times when he was hurt with the calf. And so probably just over time, it being a ligament also, soft tissue damage, it had to have been him repetitively using that arm and that wrist with so much torque, so much velocity, overcompensating the injury in his calf. And it probably just gave out at this point in time. And so it sucks. But this is where we're at, guys. The Ravens fans, I know most of them are taking victory laps. Most of them are happy as can be. And it sucks that an injury to us is where it gets them. But they lost Lamar last year. And I know it wasn't most of the Bengals fans, but there were some Bengals fans, some toxic ones, some bad ones, the evil ones that we don't like to claim, over there cheering their guts out about Lamar being hurt. And it's not okay, right? It's never okay for a player to get hurt, especially superstar. And so, but that happened to us, and we're dealing with this again. Like I said, let me know in the comments where you're at. You got the Miles way, the Cope way, and maybe this is the cheap way. It's the saddest way. But I'm like, let's lose out. Let's get better draft picks. I just know our team's not going to do that. Or are you the other way? Do you still want a playoff berth? Do you still want our guys to fight to the very end, to the very death? I don't know. But I'm hurting right now. I know a lot of Bengals fans are hurting right now. This sucks. This is not a great feeling. But we've been here before, right? Last time we were here, we went to a Super Bowl. And this is how I guess I got to finish everything out on a positive note. Okay, a positive note. If there is a world where T. Higgins, whether it be him understanding that he does have a lengthy injury history and he has not played great this season, does he come back for another? Because he's already played his last game with Joe Burrow if he leaves. T. Higgins has already played his last game with Joe Burrow if he decides to leave and go get money elsewhere. He already played his last game with Joe. And I don't know how that's going to sit with his own conscience on how he's performed with the team this season. Maybe there's a team-friendly deal that gets handed out. Maybe we have to trade someone that's making a lot of money that I'm not aware of right now because I can't think of anything right now. Maybe Joe takes a pay cut. Maybe we restructure some stuff. So many things can happen in the next few months, all the way up to kickoff next year. But that's just where my brain's at right now. I'm already into next year. I'm already in the draft season. So if you do love the draft talks, Real Friends of Football and myself, that's going to be coming soon. This isn't fun. It's not a great feeling. Joe Mixon, you had a great game. It just sucks that, like, this is how I have to say it. You had a phenomenal game, Joe Mixon. So great. But at the end of the day, we lost our franchise quarterback for the rest of the year, our star quarterback for the rest of the year. And like, comment, and subscribe.